Hello, welcome to Gain Global Political Insights. Um, I'd like to talk to you about the US-China relations. There are so many things that are clashing between these two powers. But today I would like to talk to you about their foreign policies and how these two major powers' foreign policies are in conflict. So to start with, you have seen the United States since 30 years ago. Pretty much I'll start with early 1990s. I wouldn't go back to 1950s, no, just 1990s and above. We have seen United States expanding its military across the globe. Actually, the US has more military base outside its territory than any other countries in the world. And you ask yourself, why is that? Because their foreign policy is based on military and security. That's why they are everywhere. They have military pact, they have security pact with so many countries across the globe. They have one with Israel, they had another one with Saudi Arabia. They have another one with Japan. They have Central Command. They have South Command, and the other one is like Africom, African Command. So everywhere, they're everywhere, right? They're in Kenya working with Kenyan, and they've been in war in so many countries and stuff like that. So their policy is pretty much based on that, even though we have seen they do other things, but most foreign policy is security, most of it security. So what does this kind of foreign policy do? First, having so many military bases and sophisticated weapons, it means the United States spends more than any other countries. And if you go to Google and check how much the United States spends, Google will tell you the United States spends more than any other countries, and next 15 countries combined together. So that's pretty much good amount of money, right? So with that, it means you have to maintain this military base. You have to upgrade your equipments. You have to send army personnel around the world, and actually operating these aircraft carriers is very expensive, very, very expensive. And United States has the most. So looking at such foreign policy and how it has been to some extent a burden to the United States is that you spend a lot, because you cannot have just military, say like you're making money out of military. Otherwise, your way of making money is getting whatever you want because of your power. But I don't think that United States is doing this for making that too much money. I think they're losing a lot of money helping NATO. They pay a lot of money for NATO. That's why even President Trump, when he came to power, he was like, hey, no, 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 no anymore. Europe has to pay a little bit for this. This has to pay a little bit for that, So that's just the intro about the U.S. foreign policies based on security and military cooperation with other countries and stuff like that. So coming to China, China has a different approach, and the approach China that is using is China is using economic approach and friendship. So their approach to other countries to do business is more of, hey, you want to do this? We also want to do that business, right? We have this, we'll bring it to you, build roads and stuff like that. We'll give you money. You can do your own business. You pay us later and stuff like that. So that's China's approach toward their foreign policy. That's why for the Chinese, they work with anyone in any country. They don't choose and pick. As long as they see there's interest, they can gain something out of it, they're coming in. So with that, we have seen China being all over the place, especially Africa. When the United States was in 1950s was working with Europe to build the Marshall Plan to help the Europe to help build the economy of European Union and fuse the economy together so they won't go to war against each other because they've been in war for almost 100 years. China was like a third world country. They didn't have anything. The only thing they did is to invest for the future. And they went to create friendship. So they went to many countries, including Africa. Africa, after 1950s, 60s, they were coming out of colonialism. So China worked with so many countries in Africa. I remember also in Tanzania, they built bridges to connect cities because the British, when they left, they didn't leave in infrastructure that would really support the economy of the country because most of these colonial powers, when they were in African countries, they built infrastructure to fit their economic framework, which was extract, send it back home. So even the roads, the way they build the roads from the resources to the port, from the resources to the port. So they did not develop or connect these cities and stuff like that. So they left countries very poor. So China came in and started helping building these bridges. So by building those bridges, it was bridging its own relations with Africa, right? So over time until 1970s, when they set their economy to grow, now they want to work with many countries in partnership. They came up, they changed a little bit of their foreign policy. Instead of just helping these developing countries, they said like, let's sit on the table and we can do partnership, right? We build you a road, you pay us in some ways. And most Africa, as you know, they have resources, right? So they build roads, China gets natural resources, right? So that was I think, a way of expanding its foreign policies and stuff like that. And we have seen China has growing so fast from 1970s through 2000s till 2010. Then their growth started like slowing down a little bit. So when you look at it that way, you can see a stark difference between these two major powers, the United States and China. This one put more emphasis in economy, and the United States put more emphasis in security and military. So let's come up to how the US and China conduct their foreign policy, who they partner with and who they're not partner with, and why. So with the United States, it tends to choose who they're going to partner with. And when they choose who they're going to partner with, the other person who either in odd situation with the US, he's not going to be a friend, he's going to be the enemy. So for example, look at what happened in Korea. We have a North Korea, we have South Korea, right? And after Korean War, the South Korea aligned with the United States and North Korea did not. So the United States end up partnering with South Korea, helping the economy and everything. And then they are enemies of North Korea, right? And another example, we can look into after Soviet Union, right? The Soviet Union disintegrated, and there's Russia and some Balkan countries, but the United States have always been close with the European Union. So they chose to work with the European Union, and Russia was an enemy until today, we can see, right? And also, if you look at in the Middle East, the United States with Gulf states, including the Saudi Arabia, they've been friends for a very long time, but they are not good friends with Iran. So that's how they've been working. There's always a friend and enemy, friend and enemy, friend and enemy. But the Chinese, though, is a bit different. China works with anyone. I think that in the policy, it's like we are friends with anyone. We are not going to have enemies. Otherwise, it threatens the well-being of our sovereignty. And you know, China is big time in its sovereignty, right? They have that one China policy. So if you oppose that, then you're an enemy. But by any other means, they won't regard you an enemy for any other reason other than not recognizing that there's one China, right? So if you look into that, you can see actually a stark difference, right? The person who have friend and enemy, and the other person who has friends, like everyone is a friend. He can work with this person and work with this person. So coming to current events, we have seen exactly who is winning within this doctrine. The United States was in its heydays in 1990s, 2000s up 2010. We've seen it was involved in so many wars, in Iraqi war and Afghanistan war. So it spent so much money, right? While China was not involved in any of those wars. It left its hands out, right? It was United States with its friends and stuff like that. They went in and do this and do that, right? So you can see China has stayed out of it. It kept making money. So you fight, you finish, China comes in. Can we work together, right? Yes, it happened. They work with anyone and stuff like that. With recent, with the current events, in my understanding, I can see these policies have changed a lot within the United States. It's started becoming detrimental to its development because China has grown so fast, right? Instead of investing so much in military, it invests in building roads, right? It invests in building railways. So China has a Belt and Road Initiative, right? It connects so many countries. For example, in 2016, they inaugurated their first freight from China to Europe. You know, it went through so many countries down in Eurasia. So that is powerful enough because they put so much money to invest. In some of these countries also put some money, but after building that Belt and Road railway and road from China to, they started building commercial cities. And these commercial cities is an extension of China's industrialization. So they grow so much by investing from within China, but they know that right now the country is growing, people are educated, they're going to demand to be paid more money and stuff like that. It will reach the point, the kind of growth that they want is not going to be there anymore. So what happened? They decided to build it outside. So they continue, they're everywhere in Egypt, in countries in Eurasia, everywhere where the Belt and Road have crossed. China is partnering with those countries to build these commercial cities where technology and everything will be produced there. People will get together and work. It exports its language, it exports its culture, everything. So the foreign policy has change, not just being friends and having friends and stuff like that. No, but working together, building the economies of those countries and stuff like that. And as you know, there's a mutual benefits in this, because if my country is nearby Belt and Road, I would rather build a smart city or wherever, so I can at least have that piece of the pie and develop my economy. Whereas in the United States, you've seen so many military bases. Military bases are discreet. Yes, you can share with people some information and intelligence, go to fight terrorists and stuff like that. But what comes out of it? Nothing, because it's more of building expensive equipment and you just blow it, right? No more money you can make out of it. Otherwise, you have to make money through selling, right? Equipment. And as you know, not many countries could buy 80 tanks and ride on the road and be like, oh, I bought like a new tank. Can you see? You know, no, people don't consume those. It's just governments, and it takes so much money to buy them. So you have to have big countries that are rich enough to buy. And if you don't have those countries that are rich enough to buy equipments like this, you don't make that much money. But China sells everything from socks to t-shirt to cell phone to everything. So they make money, right? Whereas the United States, even though they make all these sophisticated weapons and stuff like that, the expense that they have in running this military base is huge. The money they invest in research is huge. So getting that money back is really difficult. And that's why after fighting these two major wars, there have been a little bit of dent in US's economy. And it will take a little bit of time for it to recover. We have seen the economic clash of 2007, 2008. Partially, it was also fighting two wars. Yes, we can say that, oh, housing crisis, stuff like that, but also spend trillions, right? Billions to run these things, reconstruction, stuff like that. So you can see things are not really looking very well when you spend so much in the military and compare with someone who spends so much in connecting, building relations and commerce and stuff like that, like roads and things like that. We have seen also many countries like Europe and stuff, they went in to join China in the building of a Belt and Road because it was like a great initiative. So over time, this is changing. Over time, this becomes the reality. Over time, this opens up way for people to collaborate and stuff like that. So when you want to see the essence of the conflict between the United States and China, just look at them through the scope of their foreign policies, because these are two important things that project the power. Because nowadays you you cannot say I'm powerful by having military. No, you can say I'm powerful if you have economic resources plus a little bit of military. Yes, good amount of influence into other countries for them to buy into your ideas, like the way China is doing. US also has been doing that. Yes, people are buying ideas of working together with the United States in security. But what if there's no more, every countries are secure? What if there is no more terrorists? What if there is no more, So, but with commerce, there's always going to be commerce, all right? people will always want to buy, spend, extract, right? Build, right? So with wars, yeah, you fight, you wait, and they'll be like, oh, another person who is big is going to. So looking at these things in that way, I think it's really good to understand them through the scope um, of their foreign policies. And I'll keep talking about this, but I gave you just a little bit of background to see what United States foreign policy looks like, and Chinese foreign policy looks like. But as we go, I will start explaining the nuts and bolts, what the benefits of US foreign policies and its shortcoming, and the benefits of Chinese foreign policies and its shortcoming. And I'll let you draw the conclusion on that. So follow our uh, um, YouTube account. Is called GAIN, but I call it GAIN Global Political Insights. It's really great. I enjoy doing this. I enjoy learning about what's going on across the globe, because it's interesting. Every day there's a new things that are coming up. So thank you so much. Don't forget to subscribe.